Hello, Stage 3. I'm here today to talk to you about the Novel Study Assessment task for Term 3 that we've been working on. So I'm going to explain to you what the task is so that everybody hears the same information. As you know, we've been reading 2 novels this term. It doesn't matter that you've all read different novels, just that you've read 2. You've talked about what you've read, you've shared your ideas with others who've read the same text as you, and you've completed class tasks and discussions based on character, issues and themes, and use of language in the text, especially figurative language. Your assessment task today is to compare and contrast characterization and themes and issues of your 2 novels that you've read. And you're going to use Venn diagrams to do that. There's an optional component, which is where you may compare and contrast the use of language in the text. Optional means you don't have to do it. You can do it, you can choose not to do it without any penalty. If you are in the extension group, you might want to seriously consider doing the optional task, but there's no penalty if you choose not to. The second part of the task is that you need to decide which of the 2 novels you have read that you would recommend to other readers and justify your choice. Notice it doesn't say which book do you like the best. It says which book would you recommend for others to read, and particularly think of it to mean students your age to read. And you need to justify your choice. You need to say why and explain. This also has the criteria for assessing learning that I'm going to use to mark it. So you need to be able to identify things specific to each novel, as well as things that are common, that are similar between the 2 novels. You need to show an understanding of characters within the text, and you need to demonstrate an understanding of themes and issues within the text. You also need to express an opinion and justify your opinion. That's an outline of the task, and that will be included in the piece of paper that you received today with the task on it. This is what the Venn diagram looks like. We've been using them in class, so you should know how they work by now. This is just an example for the characters. I recommend very strongly that you choose a main character from each novel. So for example, you might choose Jess or Leslie from Bridge to Terabithia, or you might choose Lucy or Edmund from The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. And you put their name up here and the name of the book as well. Then you would choose another main character from your second book and write their name here and the name of your book here. In this side, you just write the things that are about that character or just about the second character here. In the middle, you put the things that are common to both characters. Okay, so that's very important. And the same goes for issues and themes. Here, then you also do your writing. I haven't put a copy of that in here, but in your writing you need to remember to justify as well. Here's the rubric that I'm going to use to mark it. C, as you know, is grade level. So in order to achieve at grade level, you need to be able to do these things. So identifies the main characters, and I'll know that because of the choices that you make in your Venn diagram, and list some of their character traits. To get a higher grade, as well as doing these things, you also need to provide evidence for why you're saying. For example, if you're saying that Jess was very creative, this would go here, but then you need to be able to give an example of showing when he was creative. He was very creative because he liked to draw and he drew lots of pictures. So there's an example. Same with the themes and issues. If you can identify them, that's a C. If you can give evidence for them, that will bump you up to a B. Identifies connections between the texts. The same, we're looking for similarities and differences. This identifies some, identifies several, identifies extensive. So the level of detail that you give will affect your grade. With your opinion, there's 2 components. You have to be able to give an opinion. You have to be able to also give reasons for your opinion. If you consider both texts and offer an opinion about which one's preferred, and then give me why, that's going to bump you up to a B. And of course the A criteria is there as well. There are some other things that you just need to know, and that is you are allowed to use your bookmarks to help you with the assessment, and you may actually use the books themselves. So you're free to do it. It's called an open book test where you can look through. Obviously you do have a limited amount of time, so you don't want to spend too much time going through the texts. So all those people who've gone to the trouble of putting lots of detail on their bookmarks, you're going to have access to that information as you complete the tasks. Okay, hopefully you don't have any questions, but if you do, you can ask your teacher. But those are the things you need to know to be able to do well in this assessment. So good luck.